What's going on, people? Good evening. Welcome to United View surprise show. Straight into it. Smash a video, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Fergie time takeover bid. Sheikh, Jassim, Qatar. They have come through with an 11th hour bid. Owen, just go straight into it.
Yeah, this comes from a big article coming from Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail. It's also being reported from the Times. Breaking news this evening. In the last 20 minutes or so, Sheikh Jassim, or it's being reported certainly, Sheikh Jassim has made an extraordinary 11th hour take it or leave it offer for Manchester United. He has submitted a final improved bid in an attempt to see off competition from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and conclude a deal for total ownership of the club. Now, when it comes to how much it is improved on his last bid, Sheikh Jassim's offer is believed to be significantly improved on his first, although it's still thought to value Manchester United lower than Sir Jim Ratcliffe's. Of course, that's valued at Sir Jim Ratcliffe purchasing United for £6 billion across 2 to 4 years. However, Sheikh Jassim's bid is for total control with the fee to be paid right now. It would instantly, like that flex, clear the club's debt. Sheikh Jassim's new offer for Manchester United, as I mentioned, still falls short of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's valuation, which would be close to £6 billion if he buys the whole club in the next 2 to 4 years. But Sheikh Jassim's offer is to buy 100% of Manchester United now at a price closer to £5 billion. Sources insist, again coming from the Times, that the new offer represents a significant increase over the initial offer. We had heard rumblings, hadn't we, Flex, that this could be a possibility. Take it or leave it. Fergie time settings, 11th hour bid. Indeed, forget those deadlines of a couple of weeks ago. An 11th hour bid has gone in. Still not maybe at the price the Glazers are looking for, but it's better, it's more, and it's right now. It's a final take it or leave it. And the question is, Flex, do the Glazers take it? And what are your thoughts?
Just before we get into it, I'm gonna ask to do something we don't normally do, which is, can you just go through them exact quotes again, so that anyone joining in late, get our context right. Let's get the facts out. Let's double down on the statements that have been put out from the Times, etc. Just go through that once more.
Indeed, I will go through it once more. Yes, I was just waiting for a siren to pass as well. Perfect timing. It said, again, coming from Mike Keegan first from the Daily Mail, who, of course, has been all over this takeover storyline, saga, whatever you want to call it. He has said, Sheikh Jassim has made an extraordinary 11th hour take it or leave it offer for Manchester United. He has submitted a final improved bid in an attempt to see off competition from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and conclude a deal for total ownership. Sheikh Jassim's offer is believed to be significantly improved on his first, although it is still thought to value Manchester United lower than Sir Jim Ratcliffe / Ineos's bid. However, Sheikh Jassim's bid is for total control with the fee to be paid right now, as opposed to when it comes to Ineos, £6 billion over possibly 4 years. It would also instantly, bang, clear the club's debt. Now, the second part of this comes from the Times, as I mentioned, saying that Sheikh Jassim's new offer for Manchester United still falls short of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's valuation, with valuation being the key word. That valuation from Ineos would be close to £6 billion if he buys the whole club over the next 2 to 4 years. Sheikh Jassim's offer to buy 100% of Manchester United now at a price closer to £5 billion. Sources insist that the new offer represents a significant increase over the initial offer. So it's take it or leave it settings right here, right now, closer to £5 billion. So the Glazers have a choice, Fleck, and the choice is, do you want to go with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, whereby if you go through all of the hoops and the hurdles and all that kind of stuff over the next 2 to 4 years, possibly you could sell the club for £6 billion, or Sheikh Jassim is saying, right now, I can give you close to 5, significantly more than what I was offering right now, but it's take it or leave it. Where do they go? What happens next?
Sorry, I had to just send a message there. Wow. I mean, 11th hour bid. This is it, isn't it? This is, we've said quite a few times, have we not? If Qatar, some people saying, look, Qatar obviously don't want it that much. They have to fight. They really have to show it now. They've got to blow it out the water. They've got to give the Glazers a proposal that they can't say no to. This is that offer. I'm not saying the Glazers won't say no, but or will say yes. But this is the offer. This is the attempt. This is the attempt. So where we were questioning how much do they want it? Are they going to let all this happen? with Sir Jim leading the race, etc., etc. Or you know what, Owen, or like we had to calm down after a couple of days after the stream we did with Sir Jim, or was it like this all along? All along. But the fact that they're putting in a last minute bid, that to me suggests that he was leading the race then, in my opinion. Because if you think about it, if they're comfortable with where they were at, it's one bid against one bid. It was the final round of bids. Everyone put their final round of bids.
He was losing.
And this does actually prove then, let's get this into context here, unless I'm misreading this, because I definitely don't want to do the thing that I've done the other day and overreact as well, or underreact. Yep. But this, to me, in my eyes, I read it as he's gone, shit, nah, that bid's not enough. That he's winning. Nah, we haven't had the right noises from that bid. Go back and offer them this and say, boom, final offer, I'm out, I'm gone. This or nothing. That's what this is. So, I mean, either that or in balance of fairness, because again, a lot of people in the comments getting involved as well who are saying, listen, nobody knows anything. It's all crap both ways. Or this is the media again, the British media, ramping this up, saying that they've made a final offer. And I don't know, to say they've made a final out of the 11th hour bid, I don't know. I believe that.
Like you said, it lines up with what was put out there last week when they were, or whenever it was, saying, you know, they're leaning this way. The Glazers and Rain are leaning this way. Now, of course, then that was kind of pushed back upon by saying Ineos had said, well, we haven't heard anything. And the 9-2 Foundation said, well, we haven't heard anything. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, the Glazers and Rain weren't leaning that way. They just didn't necessarily tell the party which way they were leaning. And those articles make even more sense because they forced an action. And that clearly was the aim from the first place. If all of this is true, which again, you don't know, but clearly that method of let's put some stuff out there to say that we're going to go with Ineos, we're going to go with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And it was provocation. It's provoked a response from Sheikh, Jassim and the 9-2 Foundation to put a new and improved bid in. And if that is the case, it's still not at the level that the Glazers want, 6 billion quid. But at the same time, they're not going to get a bid for 6 billion quid.
No, yes, clearly.
Yes, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's offer is valued at £6 billion. But that is, as I mentioned, and as the report says, if everything comes together over the next 2 to 4 years, you know, if he gets to 50% or 51% ownership now, and the Glazers take, you know, 21%, and then in 2 to 4 years' time, they've got options to cash in their shares at a certain value. And it really now, I guess, depends on how much do the Glazers want to get all of this over and done with. Do they want to be involved, or realistically, do they want a clean break? And are they now? It's like selling a house, isn't it? I guess, whereby you've got an asking price, but not a lot of people get their asking price, do they? There's always a negotiation.
Exactly, it's always a little bit lower,
and it's always a little bit lower. And maybe that's what they're looking at. I mean, the market cap of United. Maybe. I mean, the market cap, I think, of United is like £2.35 million or something like that. So you're already getting over double of the market actual valuation of United at the moment. If again, this offer is indeed accurate, and it's very, very interesting. It's more drama, obviously. You know, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, you kind of, and you know what? I'm getting shades of the other day. You know, when you feel really down, when we felt quite down and we were like, oh, you know, it's probably going to go this way. This is what it means. Glazer's going to stay. But then because of that, when it means you don't really know, and that's what I did learn from that. I did really learn that. Into this now, where it's like, do we get too high now and say this is it? They've made the bid. Like, it's exciting. It's painstakingly slow in terms of which way, you know, we still don't know. You know, this is the future of the club. This is insane. This is so important. Like, this has to be right. Whichever bid it is, it's got to be right. And it feels like the Sir Jim Ratcliffe one isn't right. It feels like that. But I know when the Sir Jim Ratcliffe thing was happening, people were like, listen, it's not over till it's over. Wait there. WJ Barrett said,
Well, also as well, it gives
like, listen, I'm telling you now, they're going to come. He said it.
It does, this whole talk about Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe being the front runner. It does imply that, again, maybe the Glazers didn't consider him the front runner because if they were happy with that offer, they would have gone. They would have gone. Let's go into exclusivity. Let's sort this out. The third and final bids are in, and
they still waited. They still went.
There was this, and there was this thing, wasn't there? Remember all of those things going? Yeah, over the next few days, we're going to find out who the preferred bidder is, and we really heard nothing. We didn't hear that. I mean, that much about actually. Okay, they're really going for it. It was just next few days, weeks, months, maybe by the end of the season, something like that. And maybe the whole time it's all been this big game to be like, we know that we've said before, we know those guys have got the money. We know those guys have got the money. But at the same time, those guys are like, just because we've got the money doesn't mean we're going to overspend. We're not going to get the
piss taken out of.
Exactly. But well, there's more tweets going out. So as you share your thoughts, Flex, I will look on social media.
Yeah, well, the first one here, which I can see because I beat you to it, I'm pretty liable. A fresh bid has been. It's Simon Stone's doing the same thing. A fresh bid has been submitted by Sheikh Jassim for Man United for 100% of the club, and will clear the debt with additional funds to spend on the club. Simon Stone, just make sure he's got his facts right before he comes to the party. Obviously, I know you're going to be checking that Ben Jacobs shout to see if he said anything extra. Let's get the super chats out. Love is the latest member of the UV. I thought he was already a member.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought he was always a member. Okay, well, welcome, bro. I know you're always involved here in the channel, etc. Lil Yo-Yo says, Fleck, I know you're texting Rain. Good luck. Don't know why Lil Yo-Yo thinks I'm like
heavily connected.
Yeah, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not.
No. He was watching telly.
Yeah, exactly. Owen Style Advisor says, thanks for the content. Epic. I never thought I would enjoy other people's playing FIFA so much. Yeah, honestly, it's stress. In terms of the bid, it's all Glazer bullshit. What's best for them will win the race. Greedy, lying pigs. Well, what's best for them will win the race. I do agree with that. Oh, his membership started again. Oh, there you go. He didn't even know. He's like, oh, it's renewed. There you go. Welcome back again, love. You didn't know.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Just to confirm also as well, some people are asking what percentage of Sheikh Jassim's bid is for Manchester United. So we can go to Marcel for that.
100%. 100%.
100% of Manchester United. That's what that's in there for. I loaded that in this morning and I forgot that was there. Just one more time, just the percentages, because the percentages are important. We know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos are going to be getting 50%, something like that. Sheikh Jassim's is, what is it, Marcel?
100%. 100%.
100%. That's correct. The Ben Jacobs tweet, very good. Says, quote, can confirm Sheikh Jassim has made another increased offer of 100% of Manchester United, as revealed by Mike Keegan and Matt Lawton from The Times. It will clear all debt and includes what's being described by sources as separate pledged investment close to £1 billion directed solely at club and community, which is interesting, of course, because that was what was sort of accused of them previously, wasn't it? Of they had inflated their bid by adding their future pledged investment as part of the total package. Whereas now they're saying, no, it's close to £5 billion plus 1 billion for stadium, training ground, players, etc. He continues by saying, as previously reported, 9-2 Foundation had to go to stand up, to stand a chance. There you go. Had to go up to stand a chance. Yeah, commas involved, and have never seen themselves as out of the race. The new offer is described as increased and follows verbal back and forth. It's now on the Glazers. Like from the very start, a lot depends on whether Joel and Abram genuinely want to go. Sources do indicate they are determined sellers at the right price, but now they must show their hand. So, essentially, Sheikh Jassim 9-2 Foundation, they've gone up, as Ben Jacobs says, to stand a chance. The ball is firmly in the Glazer court. What do they want to do? You've got a take it or leave it offer from Sheikh Jassim here. You've got a maybe more complex offer from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos involving percentages and
within a certain time frame,
buy and call clauses about the rest of their shares and 2 to 4 year options and all that kind of stuff. And now it's back to that waiting game, I guess, Flex, to be honest. But
it is, and that's the downside to this.
development.
That's why, you know, again, the same way we've been talking about not overreacting and underreacting from before. It's like it's the waiting game now. Does that make Qatari favourites? There's nothing saying that.
No.
But just the other day they were saying that, you know, Sijin Ratcliffe's the favourite, and it's not pretty much done, but it was like feeling like it was coming to a conclusion, wasn't it? Really, that was the feeling in the media.
Yeah.
And actually, can you say that the people, you know, everyone saying it was just media hype and stuff are right? Or does it just mean the circumstances have actually changed? That was true 3 or 4 days ago. This is an ever-changing situation. It is like transfers. It's like deadline day. It's like, you know, things just go bang, bang. That just changes. Look what happened with Ronaldo, with how he came to the club. We all said it's over. He's going Man City.
Yeah.
Then Ollie just done a press conference and we went, he basically just said Ronaldo's coming. And then everyone went crazy. Do you know what I mean? And it was mental. So I think that you have to choose that yourself. That's not for us to tell you that this means that or that means that. Because if I'm honest, I'm trying to work it out myself. What we do know what it means is clearly, and just to back up what you're saying there, Owen, another tweet, Jamie Jackson.
Yeah.
Big up Jamie. Yeah, he's kind of retweeted the same thing or put out the same thing. Sheikh Jassim's bid for Man United includes a separate fund solely for the club and community. So when all the mainstream journalists
and Fabrizio Romano has said the same thing as well, by the way, saying Sheikh Jassim has now made another increased bid. As always, it's for 100% of Manchester United, will clear all debt and includes a separate fund directed solely at club and community. Sources guarantee this is a significant increase over the initial proposal. So I think, Flex, not only has the bid gone in, but the 9-2 Foundation have sent out to everyone that the bid's gone in and said it's a significant increase.
They're all getting the same
fund.
Thing. This isn't an opinion piece. That was that time. This is fact. I think it's safe to say that that another bid has gone in. What happens with that, we have no idea from now. We have no idea. Let's get that clear. We don't know whether the Glazers are going to go absolutely brilliant. Finally, that's what we were waiting for. Press the button. We're selling to them.
We said 6, but really we meant 5. That was
5.5,
kind of really what
5.2 or whatever it is. That's fine. We'll take it. Or, no, still not enough. Let's keep our shares. We'll stay with Sir Jim. We listen to him. We don't know. We do not know. But what we do know is that the question mark of it was going to have to take a now or never bid from Qatar. They were going to have to show how much they really wanted the club. And the fact that they've done that in the Sir Jim Ratcliffe hasn't submitted a new bid, has he? A last-minute bid?
Because he thought he was winning.
I think that's quite easy to look at in that sense. That's not just media speculation. That's the timeline of what has factually happened. That the final bids went in. The final bids. But then it emerged that one was winning over the other, and then the others come back with another bid.
Yeah, an increased one, a significantly increased
world record bid.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, it now just does feel. I'm feeling, Flex, that last week was provocation. It was an attempt by the Glazers and by Rain to provoke a reaction from Sheikh Jassim, and it's worked. There's the reaction, a new bid, an increased bid. And some may say, the cynics in here might say, 1, that it's all bullshit, or 2, they might say that this was always going to happen from the start. This is this weird sort of dance that the Glazers and Sheikh Jassim have been doing since the beginning, whereby we all know we're going to get to this point. We all know, or those involved, everyone knew that they were going to get to this figure. They all knew that most likely they were heading to this destination, but they had to go through all of these steps to get there. You know what I mean? Like we were saying before, that sometimes people go, oh, what's the point in doing these 3 rounds of bids? But it's because you can't outright go to your absolute price initially. You have to almost work your way up there. You know what I mean? That's all part of the negotiation, maybe. The thing is, though, the only thing I will say that I'm doubtful of is I can't say if we're in the end game now, because genuinely don't know.
No.
Don't know if we're in the end game. I thought we've been in the end game like 3 or 4 times already. So I can't say whether we are or not, but it's probably the most dramatic thing to happen involved in all of this, right? I mean, third and final bids were in, and now it's one more bid. And not only is it one more bid, but it's take it or leave it. This is it. this is it. This is you are accepting
MJ,
this.
it tour, mate. This is it.
This is it. Well, I hope not, because that involves sort of a real sort of finale, finale that we weren't really expecting. That really was it. You know, not just in terms of final tour. That was it for him.
Just
you know
the name. Just like this. This is the moment.
Not really.
Ryan McCutcheon. You know. That's, yeah. You know. Yeah. Not that. Not as morbid as that.
No.
Shout out Josh. No, that's, you know.
I know. Wow.
Yeah. But you're right though. This is the moment. This is it. Like you were saying, we kept saying so many times. I can't remember countless people put in comments during that period saying, well, I remember one, it stuck out. I can't remember who said it. This is, well, they clearly don't want the club that much because they need to show it now and outbid everyone. They've got the money to do it. And now, I'm not saying they've bid £10 billion and they've blown everything out of the water. So the Glazers, they've done it sensibly, but they have come back to the table. And you only go back to the table to entice, one, if you think you're losing, or two, you sit on your own bin and like, oh, do you know what? Forget that. Pull out the top trump card. Pull out the I mean, the money, literally the money in the bank. Like literally, like come down and say, now's the time. And that's the sort of thing that's happened. And I can't see any other reason why they would have done it apart from those two things. Either they're losing the race, which was widely reported across every media outlet, whether we believed it or not. I know me and Owen got quite down about it on that day and did believe it. Some of you guys didn't, fair play. But whether you did or you didn't, that was what was widely reported. Or, like I said, for some reason, which would be to do with getting a bit worried about the other bid. Because let's face it, you don't pay more for something if you think the thing you just submitted is going to win.
If you were comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, all right, Owen, I want to buy your PS5 off you, and Josh wants to buy it too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, you know what, Owen, I'll give you $300.
And I know you've got more money than Josh. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know that. But I'm negotiating with Josh.
But you're gonna
and I get KG, my intermediary, to go to you and say, look, he's actually leaning towards Josh. He's going to give it to Josh. They've worked out some kind of deal.
I'm going Josh.
You go,
Josh not getting this over me.
And you go, well, I've put in. I know my offer was good. And then you sit on there a couple of days. You're not confident if you come back a day later and go, actually, about that, I'll give you a bit more.
Because if it wasn't that, I'll be like, no, don't try and bluff me, mate. I'm giving you that. I know that's the height. I know that's what you're going to accept.
Yeah, I'm giving.
And furthermore, I'm not. Well, I'm going to submit an 11th bid then. Oh. So you won't.
How much?
Yeah. 550. £5,500. 550.
I tell you what, Josh is only
take it or leave it.
Josh is only giving me like 20 quid for 5%, and we're going to negotiate the rest.
I want the whole PlayStation now. I'll take all the games off you, all the controllers, all of the chargers, the dock. I'll take it. Do you know what? I'd even take the TV from you as well. I'll take everything.
Wow.
Now, and I'll clear away all the boxes that you got with the PlayStation and all your TV and all that. And you got some fun. The TV stand that the TV's on. You don't want it. You had to organize getting rid of that. I'll do it for you. I'll do it.
Wow. Wow. And that is good value for money, because I got that TV from Josh and he got it from someone that was a bit dodgy. So,
wow.
Yeah. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you. And this is where I should mention I don't have a PS5.
Okay. Well, your laptop then.
You can have the box.
But yeah, that in principle, we're being silly, but in principle, that's what the deal to buy Man United looks like. Sorry, guys,
it does.
Mad, but essentially, Qatar. Even if this is just to kind of say that, break it down logically, so that we're really on the right track here versus anyone logging in thinking you're not on the right track. Forget all of the noise. Why is there an 11th hour bid then? Just that question. If you got any doubts as to, but it could be this, it could be that. Why would there be an 11th hour, a last minute bid?
Yeah.
Why? Jim Ratcliffe hasn't done that, and they didn't up until now. What's the purpose of a last minute bid? It's to convince at the last minute. That's the only way. It's not because you felt you didn't spend enough. Well, you did feel you didn't spend enough, so you're going back in with more. But I mean, because you want to pay more for something. You know, these AirPods cost £100, but I want to give 150 just because I want.
It's not out of generosity, is it? It's not out of generosity. It's a case of knowing that you might be losing, or you might lose out in this situation. And in fairness, the reports have always said
seal the deal.
Yeah, and the reports had said it was from the likes of Ben Jacobs and Mike Keegan and others last week, even when they were saying that Sir Jim was the front runner, they were going, look, the Glazers, they are willing sellers for the right price. Like that whole sort of infrastructure of having these rounds of bids and having these deadlines, they were still somewhat loose, because if anyone, irrespective of it's Sheikh Jassim or, you know, even if it was Michael Knighton, right, with him, you know,
I forgot about
him doing the keepy uppies. If it was him that came in for £6 billion, they'd sell, because that's their price, you know. And clearly, you would think maybe Sheikh Jassim's getting closer to that price. Now, the really interesting thing is, as I mentioned, Flex, because they're saying it's, you know, take it or leave it, is what if the Glazers leave it? Do the Glazers continue to play this game of poker and think that they've got one more bluff left in them? Or is Sheikh Jassim and his foundation really and truly willing to walk away from the table if they don't say yes this time? That's the key thing, isn't it? Because let's face it, they've managed.
The key thing,
the Glazers have managed to sort of,
we have no idea.
Because if, as I mentioned, they always in their mind said, I always wanted to get rid of 100% of it. I have no interest in sticking around anymore. I just want to get it to a price that's this high. Yeah. They've essentially, if that is the case, then essentially they've kind of bluffed their way to get up to this point. Now that they've got this bid in, are they still going to play this game a chance and sort of think we can get more?
Well, that would be the most Glazer thing. Yeah. Well, that would be the most Glazer thing, like what you said, where they've bluffed their way to be able to get a high price. Well, we all know what the Glazers are like. A lot of people were saying this is along this whole timeline, at every sort of checkpoint or on the way to a checkpoint, we've gone probably a ploy by the Glazers to do X, could be a ploy by the Glazers to do Y, because that's what they're on. Like someone said earlier on in the chat, super chat, I think it was, or normal regular chat, they will do whatever's best for them is what they're going to try and do. You know, this is where it is very techie and very peak, is that we don't know what they're considering, what the best for them is. Now there's a new option. There's a new option with more money, you know? Yeah. So,
and everything all in,
and everything, but
100%.
I don't. They don't collect percentage. Yeah, but they don't care.
100%. 100% of it.
It's the second bit. 100% of it. They don't know. They don't. Sorry, we don't know what they feel is the best for them now. That's the bit I think we do have to start delving into now, is that now we don't know who the front runner is. If we want it to be Qatar, so this is where we could overreact and run away with ourselves and say they're leading the race now. This is it. The Glazers are going to sell to them 100%. That's it. Not to be too somber, but that could easily not be the case. As well as it easily could be. This is where you go, nobody knows now. Yeah. Nobody knows.
And also, this is when, you know, there's people before, and we've kind of said this going, you know, why wouldn't you just want all the money now and not have to sort of assume that you're going to get it in 2 years' time or 4 years' time or 3 years' time? Wouldn't you just want it now and get it over and done with? But you can't get in their head. What do they value? Do they value money, or do they also value not control, because they wouldn't really have it at United anymore, but do they value just being involved? Because if they value being involved, then Ineos's bid is still more attractive, because they get money now, they've got the possibility of money in the future, and they have this element of still being involved, just still a minority owner of the club. And, you know, not that you really have any influence, but if they're looking for just that kind of status as their part of their portfolio, that they're still owners of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and they're still minority owners of United, and they still have all of their other business interests around the world. Is that what they're looking for? Or are they looking for or are they just looking to cash out? Because if they're looking just to cash out, then the option's there on the table to cash out everything. And also,
well, it
as we've
always
said
has been,
before,
but now it's even better.
And now it's even better. Now maybe it's closer to what they were looking for. And also from a more strategic point of view, when it comes to their other business interests, it's an opportunity to form some partnerships that can help you financially in the future too. As we've always said, if they want to open a hotel or they want to open a shopping mall in Doha, they know who to call. They've already done business before. As long as that, again, this doesn't get completely messy, that they don't start really messing each other around, because maybe that might go out the window a bit in the future. But that could even be part of the deal. You know, you can make anything part of a business transaction. If we do this for you, yeah, remember who sold you the biggest football club in the world in the future when we come asking, sort of thing. All of that's kind of possible in business too.
Sorry, just checking my messages. Yeah. It is possible in business, though. No, it is. It is. All of that is possible.
We've got a tweet from Carve.
Oh, let's read it in his voice. Hold on. First of all, big up Witterbear says, hey guys, don't forget to hit that like. 100% big up to you. Let me just get the super chats actually before we get to that. Thanks for the content. Actually, morning. Shahil Patel says, actually, morning show for me. It's 8 a.m. here in New Zealand. Wow, Qatar in 8 a.m. in the morning. Jeez. And thank you for the contribution there. There's a big contribution. Thank you. Jarrell, thank you for the contribution. Appreciate that. And Lil Yo-Yo says, Fleck, my reasoning for calling you Fleck Altani is your Qatar royal sources. Don't know what you mean, mate. Don't know what you mean, Lil Yo-Yo. Don't know what you mean. Jarrell says, what's the gut feeling, guys? By the way, all the way from Trinidad and Tobago, I believe that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big up the Trinis, them. Big up to you, man. Appreciate that, Jarrell. What's the gut feeling, by the way? Oh, can we even have a gut feeling? I really don't know. That was probably going to maybe come at the end of this, where me and Owen go, right, so what do you think?
Yeah, where do you think it's going?
But you got to put respect on the super chat, Jarrell from Trinidad. He's asked us, what's your gut feeling at this precise moment? What's your gut feeling?
At this precise moment, I think we've got into territory that the Glazers were looking for, honestly. I think what they did, like I said last week, that provocation were the response they were looking for. I still think the Qataris are reluctant to give them everything they want, because I think it's been so drawn out that they want to have some semblance of, we won. Not only did we win, but we got a price that we were happy with. We didn't sort of cow down to these guys. But if you ask me right now, where do I think this is going? I think that Sheikh Jassim is going to be the owner of Manchester United.
Oh, and that was good.
How about you?
Good. That was good. Oh, man. I'm in a really flex
You said
position.
cards on the table.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm in that traditional 100%. I'm in that traditional flex position here. 50-50 down the middle on the fence. I don't know which way this is going to go.
Also known as
I'm going to I'm going to lean towards more Sheikh Jassim now as well. I think you make good points. I think you're right in terms of that bit where you say that this is what they wanted in terms of getting that price up to its oozing every little last bit out of the orange juice. You know, orange juice make you trying to get every last drop out of it before you chuck it. I think that's what they've tried to do, and that's what they've been successful in doing. With the Qataris still not going crazy though. You know, what we was told here at the channel some time ago, what we was told is that Qatar will not overpay. They won't, you know, obviously it's a world record bid, so you can say Man United isn't even worth what they're offering, so they technically are overpaying. But I mean, like, you know, getting your pants pulled down straight up, not
straight away.
You know, exactly. That has kind of come true with how these bids have gone. First, second, third. Okay, this is it now. Fourth, you know. So yeah, that's our gut feelings. I'm with you, Owen. And my gut feeling is that I think it'll be Qatari now. But the same way how I was down in the dumps whenever that stream was 5 days ago, and I was like, it's gonna go to the gym. I don't want to get involved in the media hype. But this is different. This isn't the media suggesting that one person's winning or not. This is the media factually telling us that the latter person, the second bidders, or the ones who were losing the race have come through in a big attempt to blow it out the water. That's different. That's not speculation. That's what's happened. So I'm basing this decision off what's happened, not like I did before, which was just media reports suggesting that one person is more favored than the other. But I still think this backs that up personally.
But this wasn't necessarily expected as well. All the other
bids
it wasn't. They've been expected. There were rounds, there were deadlines, there was an expectation. Bids
but they did say Owen,
he's thinking about it, and
they said the only thing now is an 11th hour bid. Yeah, and I remember retweeting that, and I put Fergie time on Twitter or something. Yeah. I was like, "Come on, please!" And everyone was like, "Yeah, we need a 99." That was when someone said we need a Troy Deeney moment. For Watford, where he scored, run up the other end, done it in the last minute. We need Ollie 99. We need Fergie time. Yeah, we need it.
Michael Owen in the derby.
Exactly. We need it. And that feels like
goals with the header at the Etihad.
Oh, exactly. If they get the club from this in these circumstances, that would be insane. Kind of losing the race up until a certain point. Maybe they could argue they were never losing the race. I don't know. Maybe this was always going to be what they wanted to do, but I doubt it. Losing the race up to this point, and so befitting of Manchester United, literally Fergie time bid comes in, and it went to Qatar. Now, we'll probably never know. I mean, media outlets would claim if Qatar won it that, it was, that they were never going to get it. And then it was all to do with that 11th hour bid that changed everything. Tuesday, the 16th of May, the day that changed everything in Manchester United history. This day could be remembered in Man United history forever. It could be. I know that sounds so dramatic, and I'll calm down, Flex. I'm just saying, if they do go on to buy the club, we will remember Tuesday, the 16th of May. I will.
Well, for instance, I remember when Manchester City was purchased. Do you know why I remember? Because it was deadline day. It was deadline day over here, and it was the same day that I believe we signed Dimitar Berbatov from.
Is that the same day they got the money? Is it?
I believe so. And then they signed Robinho that day. Like I remember, like earlier on in the day, I think it might have been confirmed, something like that. I might be wrong, but I remember watching it on Sky Sports News at the time. Now, I'm not saying this is the equivalent, because let's face it, it ain't done. Yeah, and we don't know who's the favourite or anything like that. We've got our feelings on it. But certainly it feels very significant, does it? Carve has tweeted. I said I was going to do the Carve tweets. I can't really do it as good as you, Flex, but I can try.
Yeah.
Sheikh Jassim has made another increased bid for 100% of Manchester United. It will clear all debt and includes a separate fund directed solely at the club and community. That's it.
Basically what everyone else has said.
Yeah. Ben Jacobs has also tweeted a bit more, saying the 9-2 Foundation are to an extent billing this latest offer as take it or leave it. But that's also a tactic to try and force the issue. Understand they view the process as very fluid now. All moves intended to get a deal done and try and stop further price driving from the Glazers. So that's quite significant there too. Kind of what we were talking about there. This take it or leave it element of it might not necessarily be take it or leave it, but it's more just, let's just get this effing done. And let's stop these hoops. Let's stop this dance. Let's stop this. Oh, we're still not sure. We're kind of leaning this way. And then we have to come back again. But at the same time, and you know what? You're kind of dealing with two parties here who are clearly, I want to say have big, well, I think the Glazers have big egos, certainly. And they know that they've got an element of control and power, but also the 9-2 Foundation, they're aware that they have control and power because they have the money. They have the money that the Glazers are looking for. So you've got two sides that have two levels of power trying in this sort of weird businessese to sort of come out of it going, yeah, we got the better deal there. We won that, you know. Even though the final conclusion could be one person owning the club and wiping all the debt, but the Glazers could walk away going, do you know how much money we got for that? Like, it ain't worth that. You know, do you know how much we bought it for? Barely nothing. Yeah, our dad bought it, leveraged debt, and look at us now. But both sides want to get the best of this, whereas us fans, we just want it to be done. We don't care about that kind of part of it.
No, it's true. Before we get back to that, Troy Superstar says Ratcliffe might create a nightmare scenario for us. See this, I think.
Not sure.
Big up Troy. I'm not quite sure there. Troy Superstar also says, "Oh, nightmare." I think he's clearing up there. Nightmare scenario. Ratcliffe wins, and can't fund us lavishly. The Qataris buy and pour billions into Spurs, and we follow further behind. Sheikh only, please. Thank you, Troy Superstar. Big up to you. And K Flow says, "You know what pisses me off?
What pisses you off?
Dealing with the most annoying Glazer pair, especially the one with the ponytail." Yeah. By the way, I'm in town, UV fam, hoping to catch a pint with any UV mate in London in the Croydon ends. Lovely. Appreciate that. Big up to K Flow. None of us are near Croydon ends, actually. Actually, KG, you never know where KG could be popping up. You know, he's everywhere.
Very difficult man to pin down.
He is. Kristen says, my gut feeling is unfortunately a worry. What card will Sir Jim Ratcliffe play next? Has that been ruled out? Really? It hasn't been ruled in. It's just, because they've made an 11th hour bid. Could he counter that?
He could maybe. I think he's probably got the smallest percentage that he can get with having majority control. He wants 50.
Can't go lower.
Yeah. He can't go lower that. But what he could do is he could still offer a higher amount for that, and then technically once again he can go again, because the word is value, isn't it? His value, the value of his offer is everything, would be worth 6 billion is what the Glazers are looking for. So if he were to offer a bit more for his 50, he could then come back and go, I'm valuing it even higher. Forget this guy. Yeah, he's giving you all front, but a couple of years' time, I'm going to make you completely whole. Yeah, I'm going to give you exactly what you want. I just can't do it right now. But this guy can't do it now either, or he's not doing it now. So in 2-3 years' time, you might get that money and you're still involved, and you still have a bit of power. You're still part of the conversation. That might be what he does. I mean, the precedent has been set, hasn't it now, Flex? More bids. We're open for more bids.
And we will look. I know it was final round, but clearly that was bollocks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's final round, unless you want to entice us and top it up. We definitely won't turn away you trying to give us more money
until it's signed and until they've got the keys. It's not over. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Good super chat that, Kristen. What is Sir Jim Ratcliffe's power play next, if any? Someone says, where is Kelvin Glazers, KG, just for fun? He's out at the minute.
Do you know where he is?
He's out.
I know where he is. Yeah. And the best thing is he's going to come out of that and be like, what was this? Do you know what
he'll ring one of us? Yeah? And it's late and I can't talk. He'll just ring.
Do you know what he's like? We were sort of setting up today, weren't we? We were getting ready to do Flex and KG, and he's sitting there and he's on his phone. He went, Avram Glazer was staring at Sheikh Jassim's dad's hotel. And we went, well, like 18 hours ago. You and I didn't know that. Oh. Sitting there on his big fold-out phone, that big.
Oh no, his big tablet thing. It just suits him, that phone. Just big and awkward.
Like him.
It's chaos. It's chaos. I said to him today, "Look at you. You're just chaos, isn't it?" And he just laughed.
Oh, well, what he showed up in, absolutely, yeah. He showed up. You should have seen what he was. You couldn't really fully see, UV community, what KG was wearing today. He was shuffling.
Although we were twinning a bit.
Yeah, but he was afterwards. He went to go get some food. So I'm hungry. I'm going to get some food, and he shuffled back in. First of all, he pretended he knew how to get in, and he didn't. He was like hitting things, and came back in. Then he's shuffling in his Crocs. Yeah, he's got his Richmond headphones half on his head like this. And he walked in and I just started laughing at him and he went, what?
Yeah, he thinks it's normal. That's what I'm saying. That's what I say, big and awkward. He thinks that's why when I said he's not fast, because I can tell by the way he walks and just turns and does normal basic household things. Not household things, just normal things. I just know by the way how he is. And he finds it hilarious that we think that he's not normal. Because to him, everything's normal. It's completely normal. He's like, you're the one with the problem. Memphis says, this explains the Glazer coming out of Sheikh's hotel. It's all not a coincidence, ladies and gents. There has to be an additional unclosed promises. I mean, look, it's going to be easy to draw that conclusion now, isn't it? Because we've seen him at a hotel that Sheikh Jassim's father owns. Was it that? That was the story, wasn't it? His father owns it. And then the next day, there's another bid. So, to be honest, it could be coincidence, but I feel like I can't really be saying, no, it's definitely nothing to do with that. Like I was saying it yesterday, there's another bid now, literally the next day. So that's way more open to interpretation than it was yesterday. Way more. Because it is very coincidental, isn't it? Really. But it could be. Do you know what I mean? It could be. I don't know. Yeah. But with a bid going in the next day, you can't literally tell someone and say, you're wrong. It definitely wasn't that, because that's very peak. JJR says, long may the Glazers continue. Come on, you Gunners. Yeah, bet you guys, now you didn't win the league now. Within a few months, it'll be Kroenke out. Back to the protests against the Cronkies. Or are you happy with the Cronkies now? Will it be that? Or, you know, if Arteta doesn't challenge next season, it'll be Arteta out. Oh, yeah, he's taken as far as he can.
So Granit was never good anyway. Granit's going to Germany. He was never good anyway.
Who is Granit? Who is Granit?
Where's the
That's the surface.
Give him a card then. Give him a card then.
And Granit, he comes back here in the Champions League with Bayer Leverkusen. He's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
Hope they get relegated for the Bundesliga.
Ty said, who were the Brighton fans?
What I can't respect is people who cheat.
What about the foul on Gabriel? What about the foul on Gabriel? Yeah, Robbie, I hear you. But what about the foul on Gabriel?
This is what I said about referees. Well, give a card then.
You're nobody. Who is it? It's okay, De Zerbi, but he's a nobody. They're nobody. Who are the Brighton fans? They're nobody. How long have they been in the Premier League? They're nobody. They never won anything. They're nobody. Ty, they just came here to beat us 3-0. Yeah, but what about Gabriel?
It is a foul on Gabriel. What about Martinelli with his red card? That should have been a red card. Well, they're both cards. Well, it can't be, because otherwise he'd have been sent off, so he couldn't have actually been fouled, could he, in the first place? What are we talking about?
Who is De Zerbi? Who is he? Come to our dressing room.
It's always Brighton as well. I forgot they put a picture of him on their website. They've been
banging him up, Arsenal.
Yeah.
1-0 Inter. That's them in the Champions League final.
Yep. Them in the Champions League final. Just a bit more of an update as well when it comes to the takeover stuff. Simon Stone, as you mentioned, Fleck has kind of done his own bit on this. But he said it had been felt that an announcement could come this week, given the transfer window opens in less than a month, which would give manager Erik ten Hag some clarity over his summer budget. However, there is no guarantee that this will happen. So as much as we can say that it is a take it or leave it offer, and clearly Sheikh Jassim wants to speed up this process and wants to get it done, as Simon Stone says there's still no guarantees that this is anywhere near completion, which is kind of nuts when you think about it. That we're still in a territory where, because to me, when I saw this news came out, it's breaking. Well, by very definition, an 11th hour bid implies that it was nearly done, or is getting close to being nearly done, right? And they're also saying, I mean, who knows? Who knows if it's really done? You know, who knows if we're anywhere near anything being finalized or finished as well. And also, Jamie Jackson said that Sheikh Jassim's intent on becoming Manchester United owner moved him to increase his price by around £500 million. So £500 million, he increased his price. Which, if they say that it was around initially £4.5 billion, it's probably closer to £5 billion. Which, you know, the thing is, and again, it depends what you believe, but at some points they were saying that the Glazers' asking price had ranged between 6 to sort of 5 billion. So maybe we're now entering the territory of the sort of lower part of what the Glazers were looking for.
Which was that like middle to lower 5.
Yeah,
but not 6.
But not 6.
It was in the region of that.
My feeling is they'll never hit. He'll never hit 6.
No,
I can't see him ever doing it.
No, and I think that's what they have to realize after 4 rounds, that they've oozed out every single part of it and saying, well, you know what, that's the maximum. That's the maximum that you can get. This expect we've read that one already. Long minute. Memphis says the reason the Sheikh's bid is more valuable. Such a Jim Ratcliffe offer may be attractive, but might end up making a loss of 20% of Glazers shares if it goes south. What, as in,
well,
if he doesn't bring the team up and bring Man United?
I think those, I think these are referring to maybe like the share price and stuff like that. But I would think, and again, I'm no financial expert on this, but I would think that those prices that they could possibly cash in for in the future would probably be negotiated as part of this deal. A bit like, you know, if you want to cash in on the future, it's going to be this price and then this price and then that price sort of thing. Because I can't imagine they'd be willing to let that fluctuate, because for both sides, that could be a very volatile deal, couldn't it?
Yeah,
like you said, it could either gotta go really high and the Glazers would be like, yeah, cash in. And then Sir Jim's like, shit, I don't have that money. Or on the other end of it.
Well, no, they sell it to someone else though, innit? And he has to work with them.
Well, there's no, or at the same time,
can't they do that?
It could be like, I think it works both ways, they were saying. So Sir Jim at any point could trigger, I'm going to buy you out of these now.
What, and they have to do it?
And if it has gone really high, they'd be like, oh, you know, well, that's not really fair representation of value. So I think that would be a fixed point.
So there's a bit of ambiguity there. Yeah, exactly. Because if you do it just off the share price, it's what it is at that point, where Sir Jim would go, it's at its lowest, so let me buy it off you now.
I'll take it now, yeah.
What, and they can't stop that?
That's what they were saying before. They were saying that those...
still your decision if you sell your shares, though, isn't it? You own it.
I don't know. Well, this is what I mean. I don't know, Fleck. I don't know. It's all very complex.
Yeah, it is. That's weird. But surely on a basic principle, if I buy shares in anything, it's up to me when I sell it. Surely. Maybe not. It's not up to me what the price of it is, but it's up to me if I do it or not.
Can you have almost like a release clause for those shares?
Well,
like
you can
at any point.
Sure, if you write into a contract, I'm sure you can. Surely.
Yeah, exactly. We can purchase your shares at any point for this amount.
Oh yes, yeah. So then it's like saying it's like the gamble of like, I don't know, going fixed term mortgage or not. Like,
yeah,
you're gambling if you do fixed term. You're saying if
like
it goes down and you could be paying less, but you know what you're paying. But if it goes up, you won't have to.
Exactly. Or at any point, you can pay off your mortgage, can't you? You know what I mean? You can do that. Yeah. Or like you said, you can continue to do it that way. So
yeah, that's an interesting.
Look at us, financial wizards.
We know nothing.
Exactly.
Someone says, I will cry my heart out if Qatar buys United. Fingers crossed. I think a lot of people would do that. Apparently, some people wouldn't. I mean, in the away end, there was no to Qatar banners out.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw
interesting. I would love to know. Well, actually, I say I'd love to know why those people don't want Qatar. I know why. Obviously, they're concerned about the Middle East kind of thing, and probably the human rights side of things, and what it looked at the oil money. Not even oil money, because everyone just assumes everything's just oil. It's not. But
there'll be concerns about sport washing, weren't there? And an attempt to paint a positive light over negative things, that kind of thing through sport. And look, thing is, with all of that kind of stuff, people are right to voice their opinion. They're allowed to. I think as long as you're willing to have a civilized and open discussion, and also acknowledge that not everyone's going to agree on this issue. I mean, it's kind of ironic, isn't it, as we've said before, that such a you sort of unanimous issue that everyone wants the Glazers out has been somewhat divisive at the same time as well, hasn't it? You know, because people have had their preferred options, and it's tainted almost people's opinions of certain people if they've gone either way on it as well. And again, I think everyone should be allowed to voice their opinion as long as it, as we always say, remains civil and, you know, you're willing to listen. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. Open ears. Hal Han says, honestly, Fleck, you should do an impressions channel. Bloody hell. For me, they're on par with the best on YouTube. Call it Impressions Oozing. Nah, X would have something to say about that if I used his name like that. But big up, appreciate that. I like to have fun just mimicking people sometimes. It's not something I work on, I just do it on the spot. It's funny, isn't it?
That's good. Got a good inner ear, as they say.
Is that what that means? I didn't know that.
I don't know. I might have just made it up.
Say Saeed or said Ali. Apologies if I've got your first name wrong, bro. But appreciate the super chat. Flex, Glazers were at London Hotel on Sunday and Qatari made a bid. So I think something is going on. Well, I tell you what, Saeed said, something's definitely going on. Something's definitely going
Although
on.
it must be said, just because he was there, that doesn't mean necessarily any sort of Qatari delegations were there. You know what I mean?
But that's what we're saying. Exactly. That's what we're saying about why you can't say it definitely was or it definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe the delegations were there on Microsoft Teams.
Possibly. You know, maybe nowadays there are these things called phones. I don't think you have to go to the hotel if you wanted to get in touch.
Yeah, but he was already in London because of Wembley.
Yeah, I mean, you know, could have picked up the phone wherever.
Yeah, but Owen, you know, the phone is one thing, 100%. We live in the world of technology.
100%.
But when you really want to, 100%, but when you really want to make an impression and do things in the right way,
you rent out a suite
in person, mate.
Boardroom settings.
Yeah. In-person negotiations, mate. So
get the fancy bottles of water from the hotel, you know, in those glass bottles when you're in a boardroom, one of those ones.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just
how many stars is that hotel that he was at? It's got to be
5.
what?
It's 5+, isn't it? Surely.
Do they go to 6, don't they? 6-star hotels. I would think
6-star hotels. Yeah, I think so. I think they do. Yeah. I think you already covered that with Jamie Jackson. Sheikh Jassim's intent on becoming Man United's next owner moved him to increase his bid by around 500 million. So yeah, you said that, didn't you? $500 million. He's increased it by. I think that is it at this stage.
What I will also say though, Flex, to make this serious for a second, I'm going to put my serious face on. Yeah.
Yes.
We have nearly 1,600 people watching. We have less than 400 likes. I believe on all evenings, you know, we can get to 500. We can
smash a like for the final bid.
We can get to 750.
Yeah.
This is a developing story. I'm sure it's certainly not the last we've heard of it. There'll be more developments over the nights. There'll be more reporters picking up the phone now. What have you heard? What have you heard? I heard that. I heard this. And even Sky Sports now, even they're saying it, Fleck.
Oh, you know, gosh. When they say it, I know people say Slow Sports News and that. Yeah. But when they say it, then you definitely know something's happening.
Exactly. They
check everything before they're allowed to say anything.
Yeah. Old Julian, that's his name, isn't it? Julian. He's on Sky Sports News at the moment. Going.
Julian Ron.
No, the guy who's the presenter on Sky Sports that does Soccer Saturday. If it's not Jeff.
It's Julius. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Julian. Yeah, I think that is his name. Yeah.
Says Qatar's Sheikh Jassim has made an improved offer to buy 100% of Manchester United. So if Sky is saying that, that means not only is Kave telling them, but several people are as well. And just once again, how much is Sheikh Jassim looking to purchase for Manchester United? I'm going to run this joke into the ground, Flex. It is
100%. 100%.
Sheikh Jassim is intent on becoming Manchester United's next owner, and that moved him to increase his price by around about £500 million. Now, what we're being told is that he has a further segregated, separate amount of funds for the redevelopment of Old Trafford, for the training ground, and so on and so forth. Now, what I'm hearing is this is it. This will be the final bid from Qatar before the Glazers have to indeed make their mind up. For a second, I thought it was Julian off AFTV.
Well, Robbie, I think it's 100%. Could you imagine? They just cut to the studio. We're gonna go to Julian.
Julian's funny, isn't he? He's so calm and just says mad stuff. But because it's calm, you go, did he just say a mad thing?
Yeah, I remember when they lost to Man City, he went, well, it's disappointing, isn't it, Robbie? But at the same time, we have to remember that Manchester City cheated. We can hold our heads up high.
Julian.
Any club, that's the thing, Robbie. You have to remember that any team in Europe wants to win the Premier League over the Champions League, even teams that aren't even in England. What? You saying sides in Serie A want to win Premier League? What? Well, that's right, Robbie. We all know Getafe really want to win the Premier League.
It's just so random. Like, oh, mate. Getafe, when we're in the Premier League. Why does he do that? What? Oh, Julian's wicked, man. But just remember they cheated. And then Robbie said to me, "Yeah, they're just too good. They're just too good." Robbie, he didn't lose to West Ham. Oh, he didn't draw to West Ham and draw to Southampton on that day because Man City is too good.
No, we all need to come together. Yeah, we need to come together. I was like, no, we don't. When do we need to come together for? When do we come together? What? So you can beat Southampton at home? We need to come together for that. No, we don't. We need to come together, and then we won't go 3-1 down to a team that's relegated. What are you talking about, Robbie?
Where's Cecil's t-shirt?
Yeah.
Why did Cecil do that? Why at Christmas did he print a t-shirt of the
with his little mug? Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. There's only one animal here, Cecil, and he's wearing a dumb, stupid t-shirt.
Dumb, stupid t-shirt. Josh, all year he gets in the car. We're gonna win the league.
We're gonna win the league. Yeah, every time you're on the phone to him, we're gonna win the league. That's changed to next season. We're gonna win the league next season.
Josh goes, yeah, because whoever we're playing now, they have to come to the Emirates. 3-3 Southampton.
Where he does with that Martinelli fin.
3-3.
It's a goal to Southampton. They scored 3 of them.
When Josh came out of Wembley, we've been from the press conference and that on Sunday after the women's game. Josh came out because he knew they were losing. So I messaged him saying, Arsenal 1 down. He said, I know. Owen has told me. Yeah. And then, so he knows the score. When he got that, he was like, he's holding this ball. He was like, son of a, man. I goes, yeah, I know. 3-0, man. Huh? What? 3?
I messaged him. I said, wow. And he just messaged me back, ? And I went, 1-0 Brighton. He went, what? He went, I just checked a minute ago. It was 0-0. Oh. And then I just kept going, wow. Didn't get back to me till the next day. I don't think he wanted to talk to me anymore.
Well.
And he ripped Marcel's trousers.
Yeah. Oh, mate, honestly. You just can't write it. You can't write it. We didn't quite get to 750, but come on, guys. On the way out, please smash us a like on the video. We'll be live again tomorrow morning. I'm sure there's going to be some aftermath to this, some follow-up to this, and we will bring it to you whatever it is. Whatever it is, we will bring it to you. Crazy show I didn't expect to be doing this evening, to be fair.
No.
Here we are. Have I read all the super chats before? Yes, I have. So guys, let's see what happens. Like Owen said, he doesn't want to say it's the end game now because this could just be the start of something else. We just don't know. Make sure you go and check out the Flexing KG show if you haven't done already, and if you've missed it with the FIFA situation earlier, make sure you go and check that out. It was a up and down stream, man. It's a bitter one.
Ended on a sour note, didn't it?
Ended on a sour note, and middle of it when it crashed out of the Europa League as well, got battered by Benfica. But it happens. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. See you again tomorrow morning. Peace.